It's a beautiful morning here on the homestead. I'm the Frugal Gardener, and I have been waiting to do this video for a while. But before I begin, I want to say greetings to all my friends and subscribers in the US, the UK, Canada, Australia, wherever you are. Drop me a comment below so I can see where you guys are viewing from. Today I have a video, as I said, that I've been waiting for quite some time to do. This is my new mini greenhouse. I had a greenhouse, a mini greenhouse that was built for me by my friends Mike and Betty, but I wasn't able to bring it with me to the homestead. We've been here for like a year now on the homestead, and Mike and Betty are no longer with us. And last winter I did not have a greenhouse. Then I came across this guy. I'm going to give you 5 tips on what you need to do when, if you or a friend, someone you know, decides they want to garden in the winter and they want to get a greenhouse. 2 things that I'm going to tell you guys before this video is over. One is I'm going to let you guys in on how much I paid for this entire setup, which blew me away. I thought it was going to be uh, well over $100. So there's a hint right there. And number 2, I'm going to give you a bonus tip towards the end of the video. So let's get started. This is almost 100 inches long. I'm surprised at the size of it. I'm going to be able to get quite a bit of plants in here. It's 98 inches long. It's 49 inches wide and 53 inches tall. There's a few that you can get. There's another one that's 50 by 50. Now, the price on these things, I don't know what the company's doing, but uh, just for the unit, well, I'll put it to you like this. The price has changed 3 times in the past 3 weeks. So if the price is up and you're interested in purchasing this unit, then if you wait a couple of days, it's probably going to come down. So tip number 1 is location. I'm going to run through these fairly quickly because I know you guys are busy. You want to make sure that this is going to be someplace where you get the maximum amount of sun. So here, this is around, I don't know, around 11 o'clock. But the sun was over here during the summer. It's fall. And now that sun's going to be over here in a couple of months, which is fine. That's why I positioned it here, so I can pretty much get full sun all day. You want the ground to be as level as possible because you don't want runoff from snow and rain and ice running through your mini greenhouse. So you want to try to get it as level as possible. And basically, you want to put it someplace where you can get the maximum amount of heat. This is the reason why I put it up against this wall here, because I get that heat coming off of the materials from the house, and that goes into here during the day. So it's kind of a free heat, and now we're only exposed on 3 sides instead of 4. So that's number 1. Number 2, you want, I threw this thing up in like 15 minutes by myself. With help, you can probably do it in less than 10. But a lot of people are under the impression, especially if this is your first time, that you just pop this out of the box and throw it up and you're good to go. Well, no, you will have wasted your money, and pretty much what you put in here is probably going to die as soon as temperature drops below freezing. So this is what you see inside. You see you need some sort of barrier. a lot of this coal is going to come up from the ground, not just from the top. So here is tip number 2. This is what I use. This is actually greenhouse material. It comes in various thicknesses. This is 8 mil. It also comes in, I think, 10 mil. But this is what I had left over, so I used it. If you don't have that, this is what painters use to cover the furniture when they paint your house. This is 4 mil, you have 2 mil, so you get the idea. If I were you, I would not get anything less than 8, because the thicker it is, the more protection you're going to have. So you put that down, and that's all through underneath here. That's going to help keep your plants nice and toasty when the temperature drops. And the second thing is this insulation material here. I had this left over from my other house, and this board I purchased from the hardware store. This is actually wood, and it covers roughly 25% of this. I could have done the whole thing with wood, but this was about $8. And since I had this material already here, I didn't see the point in spending more money. This is ventilation. You have large ventilation doors, so on your hot days or warm days, you can let air in. So number 2, there's your ventilation. I'm sorry, there's your insulation. Now, number 3 is important also, and a lot of people, they skip this part. This is a thermometer. I'm going to take this out so that you can see it. This is what registers the actual temperature. This stays outside. These suckers used to be $30, $40 when they first came out, and now this one is about $10. So they've come down quite a bit. This is a game changer for me because this is the temperature trying to give you there. This goes in the house, and this is what it's reading inside here right now. It's in the sun, and so it's saying that it's 92 degrees. So this goes in the house. You put it on your counter someplace, on your desk, someplace where you can see what the temperature is. This goes outside. The reason why this is in a sandwich bag is because it's a cheaper model, and it's not supposed to get wet. If you're in a greenhouse and it's closed up, it's not going to get wet. If you have these doors open and it rains and you're not home, it's going to get wet. You might have a problem. So if you don't want to deal with that, then you can buy a more expensive one. But this is the one that I like to use. A already had this, but if you have to purchase one, you're going to spend about $10 or $15 for the inexpensive one. So now we've covered location. We've covered the barrier or insulation, thermometer. Now this is, for me anyway, this is one of the fun parts, which is thermal heating. I used to use small jugs, little jugs that I painted black, and I decided to go big this time. I just painted this a few days ago, specifically to put inside this greenhouse. This is for radiant heat. So basically, I'm going to fill this with water, and during the day, the sun's going to come down like it's doing now. You can see the reflection off the paint, and this is the reason why you don't wear black in the summertime, because it attracts the heat. So you want that in the wintertime, and during the day, that water is going to heat up in here. I'm going to put a top on that, and at night, that heat is going to slowly be released, so you get that radiant heat, and that's going to warm up your greenhouse at night. Another point I forgot to mention is if you've ever been camping or if you know people who camp, they don't sleep on the ground, even inside of a tent. You have some sort of protection, some sort of barrier that you use to keep you off the ground. So that's going to keep your plants warm. This is going to help provide warmth for your plants. The sun, the location, all this works together. So that is, let me see. So the location, the cold barrier for the plastic, the insulation on top of that, the thermometer, and the thermal heating. So I told you guys that I would give you a bonus, and here it is. Most of us, our garden is zone 7A. This is October. You're going to grow mostly brassicas in the wintertime. You're going to grow, I'm growing collard greens and cabbage and broccoli, Brussels sprouts. Um, I'm growing some carrots, some lettuce, and that can take some cold. So basically, whoops, there's a bee. So basically, even if it drops below freezing, as long as it doesn't drop too far below freezing, I'll be fine. But if I start getting down into the teens, it never fails. Every winter, around January, February, we have 4 or 5 days where the temperature drops down into the teens during the day and single digits at night, sometimes below zero. So you're going down to 0, 1, 2 degrees at night, and you're going to 16, 17 degrees during the day, and that's the problem. But like I said, this is early October, so what I'm planting now will probably be harvested long before that happens. But in the event that it does, and you need more heat, do not. I recommend that you do not use a heat lamp. I used a heat lamp in my other garden, my other mini greenhouse, because it was sturdier. I was confident where I hung it that it wouldn't cause a fire. But here's an alternative, and here's my bonus tip. This is my heat pad. That heat pad is going to go in here, and the plants or crop, what I'm growing, that is the most sensitive to the cold, that's what this is going to go under. This does not give you a whole lot of heat. This is kind of an aid. I have several of these. They come in different sizes. These have also come down. You can get these for, 10, 15 bucks. That's going to go in here. I may not even need it, but in case I do, then I'll have it. There was one other tip that I forgot to mention to you guys, and that's elevation. The higher your plants are off the ground, the warmer they're going to be. Not by a lot, but by a couple of degrees. So if you have plants that you are concerned that they're going to still die after all these precautions, then you might want to raise them up, which is the reason why I'm going to put this chair in there, because this chair it's about roughly 15 inches off the ground, and I can put a plant or two in this chair and set it back there. It will still get the sun, but it won't be close to the ground. So that's it. Those are my tips. Now, here's the thing. I am in the process of just about getting this stuff in place so that I can add my plants. Yes, I'm going to put them in because I want you guys to see what it looks like when I have it. It may not be completely full, but it'll be pretty much halfway to 3/4 of the way full, and I want you to see what it looks like. If you're interested in seeing what exactly what I'm growing and how it's going to look once it gets in here, I'm going to put that video out in another 2 or 3 days. So if you subscribe, hit the notification bell, then you'll get to see what this looks like in action when it's actually in use. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day. I am the Frugal Gardener. When you grow your own food, you always know where it comes from. I'll catch you guys in 2 or 3 days with a pretty full new mini greenhouse. Have a great one.